Welcome back to another episode 89 of the Spittin Hoops podcast. We're time limited here. The NBA season is coming up. Anthony's got something coming up too after this recording. So we got a quick fire 1 hour podcast up for you all today. The over-unders of the NBA. We know everyone just does this, but we're gonna do it too. So and we're just gonna break down our over-unders with your resident basketball experts or something like that. Anthony, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I've been really excited for this episode in large part. One, I love the over-unders. I love how we do well and do poorly. I'm excited to compare and see where we did well, like I said, where we did poorly. And also, fun fact about the number 89, the longest NBA shot in history is 89 feet. Baron Davis, 2001.
One-handed
And
heave.
fantastic shot. And there might be a couple that were challenged by it, but like Embiid had that one shot last year or 2 years ago that like just hit off his fingertips. So super hyped about that and hyped to get into this podcast, man.
Yeah, honestly, there hasn't been too much news since our last pod. I mean, we broke down the Van Fleet injury. There's
Yeah.
some stuff, small stuff, like a few guys missing a few weeks to start the season. I don't think anything's going to affect our predictions too much at this point, barring a major injury. Um, so why don't you get right into it, Anthony? Honestly, that's all I got to say. I'm an excited Warriors fan now that we got Jonathan Kuminga back. So.
Yes, shout out and congratulations. I actually drafted him in the league last night for $1. Um, so hopefully he does well. All right, so we're not going to go by anything other than the alphabetical order. So this is
Oh,
off
okay.
BetMGM, just our quick hits. So that way, like, there's no like
I
prep
like
time.
it.
So we're
I
not going to
like
start with
this.
like OKC or anything. So I also have like a file saying over unders with this date. So I'm going to jot down ours.
Oh,
The
perfect.
first team is the Atlanta Hawks with 46 and a half wins. Some notable additions were Kristaps Porzingis, um, as well as why am I tripping on his name? Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Jalen Johnson is very good, and he's coming back. Dyson Daniels takes a step. Trae Young. This is a very deep team. Okongwu, how are we feeling? 46 and a
Um,
half.
Yeah, I'm slamming the over. This is a team I love this season, actually. We're getting right into it as the first team, and I don't want to overreact, but this is awesome construct. The team already, I thought, was probably pretty close to winning 46 games outside of the Porzingis ad. I think he's such a luxury addition that probably takes him over the top there. They have like the three young wings of having, Johnson, Risa Shea, Dyson Daniels all in the starting lineup, and now you're bringing off the bench a guy like Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Like his role is really going to be similar to what it was on the T-Wolves. Might be even smaller because you're going to also have guys like Luke Kennard fighting for minutes there. Um, I think I'm forgetting someone else too, but yeah. So I'm in on this team. I think they're really good. And they could probably survive an injury due to their depth. They probably couldn't survive two because you get to Asa Newell pretty quickly on the depth chart.
Mm,
But I think this is a really good team. I actually think they'll hit 46 wins in the East pretty easily, slamming the over.
that's a good take. Yeah, I don't hate that. I'm kind of gonna ride off of what you were saying and go with the over. Just looking at 40 wins last year, they had a lot of injury stuff.
Jalen
You got to
Johnson
think
missed
that
like
Porzingis
30 games.
yeah, he missed the whole end of the season, right? So,
Yeah.
um, and I think after all the Pat Bev stuff, Trae Young is coming. So let's.
Was he going to get worse? Like, they already won 40 games with the worst versions of Dyson Daniels, Reese Shea, and Jalen Johnsons that we're going to see for a while. Like, just meaning they're young. And like, Trey Young's not
Right.
getting worse, and the East is getting a lot worse, frankly. I think that's going to be, you're going to hear me say that a lot in this podcast, but, it's the truth. And that's before we even get to Porzingis. Like, I think, going from a Okongwu starting Capella backup to Porzingis starting Okongwu backup situation, pretty elite. I think it's pretty awesome. So yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in. I mean, who did they? The only guy that they lost that I didn't love that they lost was Larry Nance. I thought that he could fit in a team like this pretty interestingly. Um, but I mean,
You get Porzingis
you get
instead.
Porzingis, yeah, exactly.
So. All right. So we're both going with the over. Max is
Slamming
very
it.
zealous. I will follow that lead, the confidence.
I think I
All
got them
right.
fourth. I think I got them fourth in the East.
Sure. Well, and
Yeah.
we'll do that as well as we
Yeah.
continue though on with our speed run. Speaking of the East, we're going to stay in the East for a little bit just due to alphabetical orders. The Boston Celtics at 40 and a half. Um, I'm just gonna start by saying I think this is over. I mean, this is essentially saying they go sub 500, and they haven't gone sub 500 in like a decade. You still have Jalen Brown, you still have Derek White, picked up Simons. Um, I don't know. I think with Missoula, like it's hard for me to see them lose more games than they win. So I will say over. I don't think they'll be amazing, but I don't think they'll be sub 500.
I think it's close. I'm on the fence on this one. I think it's I could see it going either way because I think they're an injury away from where you're in a 20 games roster. Like if Jalen Brown gets hurt for 20 games, that team is gonna feel it, just talent
Hmm.
wise. Missoula like is probably gonna help them when they're full strength, but at some point, if you're just relying on Derek White, Anthony Simons, and Peyton Pritchard to put the ball in the hoop with a front court of Kada and Chris Boucher, you know it gets a little tough. Yeah, I'll probably give him the over. No, actually, I'm sorry, Tony. I'm gonna have to give it the under. I
There,
have to, I have to go and give it the under.
we can say a cop out. Like we can say fence.
But I'm really on the fence with that. But I do think, yeah, I think the Hawks. I
You
think
don't.
there's gonna be. I think the good teams in the East are really gonna feed off of these teams, and the Celtics are gonna have a burden of needing to beat. They will need to have such a great record against other Eastern Conference teams. Is kind of my other thought. And I think that might be tough. Listen,
Fair enough.
and the thing I
Well,
love Derek
that'll.
White, by the way. I think, this is a great situation for him where, star guy goes out and we're going to get to watch Derek White put up 20 a game again and,
Hmm.
kind of jog your memory there. So I think that'll be nice. But I'm just a little worried about like I'm just worried a little like I'm just maybe I'm nightmare feeling myself. But if Jalen Brown gets hurt for 2 weeks, like Derek White's going to play the three with Anthony Simons and Peyton Pritchard. And, that's going to need to win some basketball games so then to go 500.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Don't love their front court depth. I'm hoping Kata takes a step. I'm hoping Boucher helps out. And I'm a Celtics fan.
Both players I like, by the way, but
Yeah.
they're now playing 30 minutes a game. When
Yeah.
Boucher wasn't getting that any minutes, neither was Kata really. So
Yeah. We'll see how it goes. Let's go
um,
Luca Garza.
that'll
Um,
be our one. Okay, I guess we're differing there.
differing there. Okay. Next is, and I hope this is a team that the Celtics can feast off of, but the Nets, 20 and a half.
Mm.
The Nets obviously had that famous five picks in the first round, and they got Michael Porter Jr. for Cam Johnson, and they have Cam Thomas, and I'm sure they have other guys that I'm just not saying right now. Keon Johnson.
I think they're gonna go over. I can't believe I'm saying it. I think they're gonna go over. Like I think they're gonna win like 22.
Mm,
And like this is what happened last year. Like they had to completely blow up their team because they kept winning too many games. I forget their coach's name. I'm totally blanking on their coach. Um, Jordy Fernandez, great coach, just happens to get them into games. And I think they're going to be a little too competitive. Like Cam Thomas is just going to go out there and score 25, and if your team sucks, it's going to be kind of tough to beat them. Like if you're the Jazz with Markkanen out, you're gonna need to play Cam Thomas, who's going to drop 40 on your head. Um, I think I got the over. I can't believe it. I think I got the over. They're going to play a lot of rookies, right? And that's the thing here
yeah.
is that they can tank their season out completely. But what if like I could see that happening after they get to 21 games, 21 wins, like
Mhm.
20 and a half wins they need to be one of like the three worst teams in basketball, you know. And I got a good idea who that's going to be.
And we might get there. They
Yeah.
are actually the second lowest on BetMGM. So we'll
Yeah.
see where they go. I'm just because it's so many rookies and I think they're going to do development stuff. I could see it being under, but to your point, if what you're describing is the bell curve of wins in the Eastern Conference is like saturated in like the 30s and like high 20s and low 40s,
Yeah.
then that makes sense.
And I also think like the roster isn't substantially worse than it was last year, right? Like they have Michael Porter Jr., Terrence Mann, Cam Thomas, Nick Claxton, and they got like Haywood Highsmith, and then all their like the Dayron Sharps, the Noah Clowneys of the world are a year older. You just got to win 20 games. The Wizards aren't going to win 20 games, but like maybe the Nets will. That's kind of why I'm going to take the over on them.
All right, fair enough. Well, staying with like the bottom feeders of the East, we're gonna move over to Charlotte, who is a 27 and a half over under. Um, you want me to go first here?
Yeah, you go first, man. I don't.
Yeah, I mean more star adjacent type names, right? With Bridges and Ball. But I think this is a franchise that suffers in perpetuity of mid, and LaMelo Ball is just an injury waiting to happen. So if you, I don't know, I don't think they're that much better than the Nets. So I'll probably slide under, and that's
Yeah,
my take on that.
under for me too. I don't really think they got any better. I don't think I don't think they want to win either. Like, if you're the front office, you're still kind of in asset accumulation mode, especially because no Flame, but Brandon Miller and LaMelo haven't shown the ability to win out the gate.
Mhm.
Which we'll see. Maybe that changes, right? I don't know. I think they lost a lot of front court depth. I think we're gonna see a lot of Mason Plumlee, and I think they're gonna win like 19 games. So give me the under. If
Love
they
it.
won, if they won 27 games, that would have to be a 10-game improvement. Am I wrong? Right? They won like
Yeah,
17, 18 games last year.
They won 19 games last year. So yeah, 8 game, 9 game improvement to get to
And I
28.
love LaMelo, but even if LaMelo played the whole season, like even if he played 70 games, I'd still have trouble hitting the over.
Respect. All right, let's move on.
Yeah.
Uh, Another mid team, Chicago Bulls, 32 and a half wins. Chicago
Oh, I
Bulls.
forgot to give Con Canopal a shout out. I know he's gonna a rookie, but he'll be fun to watch
Shout
in
out
the minutes.
Concacaf.
He'll be all right. Okay. Bulls, sorry, what was the number? 34?
32 and a half. I think over. They won 39 last year. I struggled to see a 6 game drop. It's I mean, another year. I mean, it's not like the team's that different, but I think Buzelis, does he take a step? Giddy, does he take a step? And I mean, it's a bunch of guards, but like Kobe White, AO. I don't know. They just don't seem like they're bad enough to lose that many games. So I'll say over.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a really bad team. I don't know. I'm gonna take the under. They also they had like I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but I can't see this team. I think this team is like in perpetuity of they've lost their direction. That's kind of what I'm trying to say. And I think that's just going to catch up to them here. I know they have good players, but you're adding Noah, the rookie. I can't even say his last name, but I'm French. The guy in the lottery. And they're going to try to find him minutes on a team that's going to play Patrick Williams 30 minutes because he's getting paid 30 million. And Vucevic is a year older. And now his backup is like Zach Collins. And now Kobe White is going to have even less the offensive in his hands because Josh Giddey got a big extension. I don't know. I think they might win 30 games. I'm pretty low on this Bulls team. And the thing
Fair
is,
enough.
this is still the direction they should have gone in. And I don't remember if they have their own first round pick. I believe they do. I think that'd be good. I think a bad season would do them like I actually think it would be wonderful for them to get some talent. So yeah.
Yeah, should have this conversation in 2021.
I
All
think
right.
this is a
Well,
sleeper tank team. I think it's a major sleeper tank team.
sleeper tank team. I like that. Chicago Bulls, you are on sleeper tank alert.
Everyone got paid. Like I think all of these dudes are on multi-year contracts. So if everyone took a year off, they'd still get paid. Like I'm pretty sure Kobe White still has a
Oh,
year
like that
after
they can
this.
be like they can
Yeah.
be ass.
Yeah, I think Kobe White has a year after this. I think Vucevic has a year after this. I think Josh Giddey has 3 now or 4 years after this, right? So Okoro expires for 20 mil. You don't care. Buzel is his second year. So that's why I'm like kind of like on tank watch. So yeah.
I like it. Official tank watch.
Mhm.
First official tank watch here. Um,
That's too much
all
in
right.
goal. Sorry.
That's all right. They deserve their moment. We won't be talking about them much this year.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. So here we have like our first contender
Mhm.
staying in the East. Cleveland, 56 and a half wins.
What do you got? I'm on the fence.
I'm gonna go over. Just because the East is pretty bad, and maybe the Lonzo pickup is helpful. I think maybe just another year of cohesiveness. Part of me thinks that they're pissed that they flamed out so badly, and they just want to show off that they can play well. So I think they're a great regular season team. They got a lot of depth.
I kind of agree. The only thing I'm nervous about is the injuries, but there's no way like another year isn't going to hurt them in the Kenny Atkinson system. Another year with DeAndre Hunter with the team for a full season, you know.
Right.
Yeah, I'm tend to agree. I think this is the first seed for me in the East by a pretty healthy margin, regular season wise. I still am iffy on them playoff wise.
Fair enough.
Um,
Um, okay, we are moving to the West for a second, and we're talking about Dallas.
yes,
41 and a half.
over. I hate and I hate to admit it, but I'm slamming this over.
Yeah, I'm with you. I actually put this on a different note when I first saw this. I thought this was a typo. This team is like full of talent,
They
and
also this is not a if you watch them last year, you know that they also play these players fit to, I think it's a Jason Kidd thing, not a Nico Harrison thing. But to be fair, Nico Harrison has put together a roster of players who can pass. Like Derek Lively can pass, Anthony Davis can pass, Cooper Flag can pass,
mm,
Clay Thompson can shoots the rock, whatever, and Kyrie does Kyrie things, right? Um, with Brandon Williams, we alluded to this on a different podcast. With Brandon Williams playing the last 30 games of the season, they still like made a play in and were frisky, right? Um, so I don't know. I think it's a pretty fun team, and that's not even to mention the fact that Kyrie could come back by the end of the season. By all accounts, it seems like he will. So
yeah.
I think they're just gonna be playing till that goal of like how many wins can we win, how many games can we win until Kyrie gets back, and I think they're gonna be gunning for it. I think D'Angelo Russell, his replacement, is probably on his last legs a little bit in the NBA, and if he wants a big contract, gotta play well here. Um, yeah,
Mm.
I'm slamming the
Um,
over. I really think they're. If you
yeah,
watch the games last year, you know they're great to watch. They play really well. It's crazy.
I think that's fair. Yeah, 39 wins last year with like AD hurt for a while and with Luca hurt for a while on both ends of that trade.
Yeah,
So yeah, I'm pro that.
they
All
probably
right,
got
two overs.
that's a great. They probably got 2 months total of Luca plus AD, like of their
Right.
best player, of their best player on the
Yeah.
roster or anything.
Right. Not that AD is the healthiest man in the league, but you
Yeah,
think that one more carefully. Okay. Next, we have the Denver Nuggets, 53 and a half wins.
over, over.
Okay.
My NBA champions. This is actually my prediction for NBA champions.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah,
All right. Over and
I'm
champions.
Yeah, no, I think this is gonna be an amazingly constructed team. Bruce Brown's back. Cam Johnson is a steep upgrade on MPJ. They were injured a good amount last year, frankly, and they're gonna be fine. Schroeder is a year older. Brown's a year older. Tim Hardaway Jr. is on the team, and we saw him be pretty good on the Pistons. He's their like 12th man. Like we've never said the Nuggets are deep. They're super deep. I think it's gonna be really hard to beat them.
Yeah,
Over,
fair enough. I won't go
slamming you.
over. Yeah, I won't go as far as champion, but yeah, I hesitated for a sec because the mid, much like the bottom of the East with like the 30 win thing, like I feel like the West is kind of at that in the 40s. So I think
100%.
it's tougher. but 55 wins is totally within reason for these guys. And they've been close to around that. Last year was a bit tough with only 50 wins, but I think they're definitely better.
Dude, they could have injuries to and survive. I mean, they've got depth now too. Like Valanciunas, backup center. Like Payne Watson, you're older. He's now like your eighth man.
And to your point, Strother.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Moving on to another playoff likely team, back in the East, Detroit, stand up, 45 and a half
Detroit
wins.
basketball. I'm
Detroit
probably.
basketball, 44
I
wins
can't believe it.
last
I'm
year.
probably doing the under.
Under.
Respectfully
Okay.
though. Like I'm not. It's a respectful under. I think they're less talented than what they were by the end of the season, barring the Jaden Ivey injury. But Jaden Ivey, even when he was healthy last season, I don't think they were winning at a 45%. Like, I don't think they were winning at like that 53, 54% win
Yeah,
rate
they
that you'd
weren't.
be at, right? Um, and they lost Schroeder, they lost Tim Hardaway. Those are two guys playing 30 minutes a game for you in the playoffs. This is a little bit more of a transition to the younger players year, with Duran, Thompson, Ivy, Cunningham going to get the majority of the minutes. I got them on the other under though. I think this is a good season to have in your development, but they didn't add anyone.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it depends if you consider anyone to be like Karis LeVert and Duncan Robinson. But if
I
you
mean,
don't, yeah,
that's a downgrade on Schroeder and Tim Hardaway for me, to be
yeah.
honest.
I'm gonna still say over. I just think Cade probably takes another step here, and the East is just not very good. And I think that they'll be a top 5 or 4 seed. So I could see them sneaking in just under 50 wins.
That's fair.
Again, not all 50 win teams are made equal, but um, now we'll move to a team that actually has the same over under in Golden State, 45 and a half wins.
Over. Come on.
X is saying over to
Over. I
that and
mean,
considers it a
to be honest,
disrespect.
okay, I don't consider it disrespect, but to be honest, like when we had Steph and Jimmy last year during the regular season, we were slamming. I mean, like when we had the regular season, but what I'm like what's the word? A sample size. It's the regular season sample size of Jimmy and Steph on the same court is extremely good already last year. I think Pods is probably going to be better this year. I think Moody's probably going to be a little bit better this year. And I think Horford as a center is just like miles better than a center we've ever had, frankly, since Bogut. This is probably the best center we've had since Bogut. Unless I'm forgetting someone off the top of my head. Um, and
Maybe
he's third.
Draymond, but
But I mean, Draymond was still on the team,
yeah,
though. But
yeah.
and you're right. Like he played center in the KD Warriors, right?
Or
But
sorry, DeMarcus Cousins, Boogie.
oh yeah, but
But that was short. Yeah,
that
I
was
heard what you're saying.
that was a weird like rehab season. Like Al Horford's coming in, he's gonna play 25 to 30 minutes. He's gonna shoot the three ball better than Boogie actually, and he's gonna play better defense than Boogie. But Boogie Cousin was fun. But I think yeah, I'm slamming the over. When Quentin Post and TJD are gonna go from being the starting centers to the 10 minutes a game centers, and that's going to clear up the lineup a bit. I think Kuminga, now that he's getting paid 24 million, if you want to bench him, you can, and very likely they'll use him to upgrade it at the deadline, given that Kuminga has a team option next year. An acquiring team could just trade for him and just be done with his money. Yeah, I think this is going to be a very good team. I actually think it's going to be a very good team. It took a while to get figured out, but I think it'll win 48, 49 games.
Yeah, I'm zagging for the pure reason of like they're old, and you brought up injury concerns, and I think this is a prime candidate for injury concerns. I do think on paper they're probably I can easily see them ripping off like a 10-2 stretch over a 12 game period. I don't think they're bad. I just think the West is deep. Um, and they're old. So I think I could see games being taken off. And as the season gets closer and they have their playoffs situation more secure, I could see them relaxing. So I'm gonna just zag for the sake of this with saying under,
I just
but
think they have
this is
like
not a
for
confident.
once. I think for once, so they just like finally have like if Steph was hurt and Jimmy were to play with this team, this isn't the team that suited up in the T-Wolf series. Like this will be a little bit better of a team than that. That's my I think my saving grace there because Steph will roll his ankle and miss 15 games at some point this season. Jimmy will strain his quad, miss 20 games this season. And I just think they're like finally built to survive that a little bit more now that you have like a Horford type, now that you have like, figured out rules better and the younger guys have aged another year. That's kind of my hope, at least. I
Yeah,
pray.
no,
I
it's fair.
pray so that Steph can fulfill the prophecy.
Yeah, we'll see. The strive for five is still in play for sure.
Yeah.
But all right, we'll have plenty of time to talk about them this year.
Yeah.
Moving on to actually, we got a streak of a bunch of teams we'll talk about this year. Next off is their first round opponent, who they defeated in Houston.
I guess
They're over.
we just did a ton of Warriors and Rockets too. I guess we're beating a dead horse in the last pod.
But that being said, Houston 52 and a half. Yeah, I was gonna think the same thing. Under just it's a tough conference. Get that they won what 52 wins last year. Are they? I mean, they might be a little bit better, but it's just a tough conference.
Yeah,
So
Van Fleet injury is really killer. The fact that if they had nothing to figure out pretty much going into the season and they're rolling in as like a top three seed, we're gunning for the title. I would have taken them above 54, 55 wins, if Van Fleet was healthy. And that might actually readjust some of my rankings elsewhere. I think the Van Fleet injury is really rough, man, and I can't predict them to win over 50 games if I don't know who's dribbling. That's straight up the problem for me. I mean, we talked about it a good amount last pod, so I won't talk about it too much, but yeah.
fair enough. Another tough team with injury stuff coming up. Actually, NBA finalist team in Indiana, 38 and a half wins.
Hardest team to rank?
This is a tough one. Um, I'll I'll say over, to be honest. I'll just because I mean they lost their best player, but I don't think they get 12 wins worse. Um,
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna
still think
agree.
they have a lot of depth. And I mean, I really liked how they played last year, even when they got hurt in the finals. Like they just kept trying. They were like the sleepwalking zombie Pacers.
Yeah, I agree. And like for some reason, like I have basically the Celtics. I think the Celtics and the Pacers are gonna probably finish right around each other, in this regular season. And I did take the Celtics under, but they have a few games of margin above the Pacers here, so
Yeah, they
I'm
do.
gonna take the Pacers over. Um, I just think their front court looks a lot better. I think you can run a top and Siakam small front court. Isaiah Jackson and the signing of J Huff, Isaiah Jackson coming off the injury, signing of J Huff. Think those will work out well for them actually. Yeah, I think they'll be like 40 win team. Like,
Hmm. Fair enough. Okay. The aspiration team itself is up next. The first Los Angeles team, the Clippers at 48 and a half wins. It's kind of a tough one to predict.
yeah, I'm not there. I'm not there with this team. I don't think Kawhi is going to play that much, and I think we got an awesome season from James Harden. I think Brad Beal, he's cool. We signed him. Um, unless James Harden has a similar season again, they're not going to win that many games. And I think John Collins is great in theory, but we'll see. And Ty Lue of all coaches, give him all these options, he'll figure it out. But
Hmm.
um, like a Zubats Collins front court feels like not a lot of spacing for a team that I don't know if they can shoot the through ball that well. So yeah, like that's kind of my underrated
Uh,
thing. Like, is Harden just going to be your only good 3-point shooter? He's the only one who can shoot a three if Kawhi's out, pretty
Bradley
much.
Beal.
I mean, that's a win for the defense. Bradley Beal shoots 35 times.
Yeah,
That's the thing. Like,
yeah, that's
and
true.
honestly, like, yeah. So
Yeah, and I'm also going to say under for two other reasons. One, I said under to the Warriors at 45 and a half, so three extra wins. I'm gonna go under. And two, this is the oldest team, I believe, in like NBA history, or at least top seven, something like that. So
what
something will happen to you.
and that's my thing with Beal is I also like, Beal, I was roasting him a little bit. 37% from three shooter. He can shoot the rock. He also gets hurt a ton. He's also older. He,
Right.
he's also had the string of the worst. I mean, he's just had his like worst four seasons of his career in a row, like pretty much, barring his first two seasons. So, anyways, I agree.
All right. Well, then in that case, we move over to the crosstown rivals in Los Angeles Lakers. 47.5 wins. This is a tough one. I'm gonna say over. I think healthy Luca is just like too good. That's like honestly
Yeah,
my biggest take. And like you have LeBron for at some point, even though he has the sciatica thing, he'll come back.
I think,
So,
yeah, I think the West is too good. I'm taking the under. That's
all
kind of
right,
my.
fair enough.
The Lakers are 47 and a half. The Warriors 45 and a half.
Just great, man. It's a
I'm
great
just
time.
putting it out there that I think at full strength, yeah. And I mean, it is the regular season and a 7 game series. I think this. I'm just the Lakers. I'm curious about this. It doesn't feel like LeBron wants to be there. The statements that happened this offseason. I'm really worried about this being like a media because they're stalling. They've already made it clear that they're stalling for free cap money. Like for free agency money to hit a big cap signing. Um, so kind of nervous. So, anyways,
Yeah, I'm more in like the Luca direction than the LeBron direction,
yeah,
but LeBron is doing some stuff recently. That Hennessy ad was ridiculous. But also if you fell for it, that's on you. Um,
I kind of fell for it. I
but
can't lie.
well, we get plenty of time to talk about that as we are on a time budget today.
Sorry.
So
I got the under, but yeah.
you're good. All right, under. I'll say over just because of the Luca factor. And we move on. We stay in the West with Memphis Grizzlies, 40.5. It's a bit of a toughie.
It's toughy, isn't it? I'm on the fence totally with this one. I'm probably gonna take the over. This is probably a 42 win team.
I will also take the over because Desmond Bain was out. Am I tripping? He was out for
He was
some
out
time
for a
last
bit,
year.
but him and Ja basically traded time off. But I think KCP can do a 80% Desmond Bain impression, and if you get 60 games of Ja, you could probably win 40 games, right?
Mhm.
If you
And
get
like
60
can
games,
yeah, and then can like Scottie Pippen Jr., can Conchar, can Zach Edey, Jalen Wells all take a step. Brandon Clark, is he out still? Like what's
I,
his deal?
I
Yeah,
think
he's out. No,
so.
he's
I think he's
Brown's
out,
out.
but they'll have the Edie Clark JJJ front court with Aldama. That
Yeah.
is a good front court, like
Mm.
fully. And then I think Jalen Wells, KCP, you could do a lot worse than that at your wing spots. Like it's not ideal, but Jalen Wells is a good player, man. And backing him up is Vince Williams and still Gigi Jackson, which 2 years ago that sounded pretty good. Last year they both had horrid seasons, right? But you know,
Yep.
let's see go with 40 games. It really depends on Ja though. If Ja plays 30 to 45 games, they're probably not going to win 40 games. So
Yeah. Right. I'm with that.
could
All
be a
right, cool.
tank.
So
Could be a tank contender too. Like this is the West
Tank
is
Watch.
this is the thing. I'm taking the over, but like if they're if they're 13th or 14th the West, which is fully possible, like 2 months in the season and Ja gets hurt, like it's gonna be rough for them. So
It's gonna be scary hours
mhm.
for sure. They are a leaky ship. Um,
And I
moving
think
on to
the
another mid.
two LA teams probably
Yeah, yeah,
finish above this team. Sorry. Yeah.
yeah.
My
No,
bad.
I agree with that for
My
sure.
bad.
All right, an odd team. I'm struggling to predict this one. Starting with M, Miami, 37.5.
I'm in. I got the over. This is actually one of the overs I really like this season. I think they'll this is a 500 team. I think they're probably better than I think they're better than the Pacers. I think they have had a really poor season last year, but specifically they made mid-season moves. Bam had a bad season, and I you know first year of really turning the team over to Tyler Hero. After the Jimmy Butler trade, but to help him out with that, you got Nolan Powell. You have
Yep.
Davion Mitchell, who showed that he's going to be good on that team and knows how to play
Mhm.
in that Heat system. Um, yeah, I'm pretty in. I actually think like pretty good, pretty good.
Very good.
I
I'm
think
with
I think
you.
they're like
I'm over.
41 wins, but I think they're like pretty solidly will win 37 games for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean they're a play-in staple at this point.
Yeah,
We love the Miami Heat. I also like the Khalil Ware improvements from the preseason.
absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, the floor is too high.
Way too high.
So
The 37,
yeah,
like they would need to have multiple injuries for me to lower my expectation to under 37, you know.
yeah, totally fair. Um, all right, staying in the East, we move over to Milwaukee with 42 and a half wins.
Okay, can I say that that over under is an indictment on the Bucks, first of all. I'm gonna take the over, but like you have Giannis and you can barely be over under as a 500 team.
I also will take the over, and I share your thoughts. This says a lot about the management
And
of the
and
team.
and honestly, the over is says more about the state of the East. You know, if Tyrese and Jason Tatum are healthy, fully healthy, I might take the under. You know,
I
so
mean, it is pretty close. It's pretty close
because
for sure.
the thing is, I don't think they're gonna win 50 games. Like, you know, is Kyle Kuzma gonna be unbelievable all of a sudden? Is Kevin Porter Jr. gonna be a 40% three-point shooter all of a sudden? Like, no. That the
Yeah.
thing is, if that you know, if Cole Anthony is like, I will say there is like a fun. If Cole Anthony starts shooting like 42% from three, and they just play him like 35 minutes a game, and they just become like an awesome offensive team, I think there's like some fun potential there. I don't think they'll win like that many games, but I was just thinking about that the other day. So
It's gonna be a league pass team. All right,
I'm
cool.
not watching Kuzma League Pass.
This could be a post Kuzma trade league pass team.
Can they
Um,
wave and stretch another guy? Can they wave and stretch another player?
just keep doing it.
Yeah,
That's
imagine.
crazy. Um, man, that's just so unethical. Um, all right, moving on. We got Minnesota, 50 and a half wins. They had 49 last year. This is a
I'm I'm probably gonna take the over. I think that's where
yeah.
I'm at. I don't feel good about it. I still not in on this front court, but honestly, Julius Randle showed me more in the playoffs than I expected. I anticipate that his re-signing and his and Naz Reid's re-signing will contribute to continued momentum. And although they lose Nickeil Alexander-Walker, I mean Dante DiVincenzo had a pretty horrid season last year. Rob Dillingham and Terrence Shannon Jr. get a year older. Kind of in. Kind of in on it being an over. This is like a tepid. This is like a 51 win over. No.
Mm. And Anthony Edwards only gets better.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah. All right, cool.
Leads the league in threes again, probably. You know,
Yeah, that was nuts. That was a crazy jump. Um, all right, cool. Next up, we got New Orleans Pelicans with 30 and a half wins. I'm I'm sneaky on the overside of this. I like kind of like their depth, and I feel like at some point there has to be a return to the mean, and Zion plays a decent number of games. So I'm just hoping that they have a ray of sunshine. So I'll say over.
yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. I think they're kind of too deep. I think to lose that many games. I think you know they also had the Herb Jones and Trey Murphy injuries throughout the season last year. Like Trey Murphy didn't really get started. It's like 2 months into the playoffs or 2 months in the season, if I remember correctly. Um,
Mm, right.
yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in on the over 30. I don't think they're gonna be a play-in team though, but I think they're gonna be like they'll be like the 13th
Like hunting
seed.
for.
They'll be the
Yeah.
13th seed. They'll be the first team. It's actually they might be 14th. The thing is actually no. They'll be the 13th or 14th seed with like 35 wins or maybe 32, 33 wins.
Which speaks how good the West is.
Yeah, like truly I don't think there'll be very many bad teams at all.
Yeah.
Um yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And who knows if DeJounte comes back at some point during the regular season. You get Jordan Poole, Herb Jones, kind of a fun team. This will be a league pass team for me for sure.
If we get
Um,
50 games out of Zion, I'm back in like the next year. I'm probably gonna pick them to win 45 games.
right. Yeah.
Because I kind of like the
Nah,
construction of the team around him. You get DeJounte back, maybe do another move next season.
mhm.
Like you got some young guys and Fears and Derek Queen. Um, like I don't think they're gonna ever win a chip, but they'll be fun.
I mean, yeah, this is not on chip watch. Um, all right. Well, moving closer, a little bit closer to a chip is the New York Knicks with 53 and a half wins. Um,
It's tough. I'll probably take the
yeah,
over.
I'll say yeah, I'll say over as well. With the state of the East
Yeah,
and with how wow, we said over on a lot of teams recently.
yeah.
And how bad
That's why
other teams are.
I went under on a lot of teams earlier. But I mean, they signed Clarkson, they got Yabusele. They won 51
Yeah,
games last year. The East got worse, and I'm pretty sure they dealt with a few injuries throughout the season last year. Not to
right.
mention, you know, they'll have a coach
A
that
new
I
coach.
deem to
Yeah,
be, yeah, a coach that I deem to be an upgrade. We'll see, but a coach that's also been proven to win the regular season. So
right. So, oh yeah, great team. Okay, we are moving to the championship favorite, OKC, 62 and a half wins.
over next.
Okay.
I mean, on it's a
Uh,
ridiculous number, and it's a ridiculous number to hit the over on. But they're not going to be worse than that they were last year.
yeah, they won't be worse. I'm like curious if like they do the Warriors thing when the Warriors were amazing and they actually like had like a 59 win year.
Yeah.
Just because it was like whatever, we're so good. But I could see the West being better and like kind of chasing them a little bit so they can't relax. And even when they did relax last year, they kept winning. So
Yeah, and I think
I
they're
think
too
that's fair.
young. And I think like the thing is the Warriors were doing that like qualified because the Warriors like they won the first chip. They then set the record and lost the chip. And then they have this another 63 win season with year one of KD, you know. It's the year two of KD or three of KD where they kind of take the step backs. And that's because they're also an older team. I think this Thunder team is not gonna have
Right.
that problem. And also I think
Right.
Mark Daigneault's gonna be good about like, oh, like we need some more Aaron Wiggins. Like, or we need some more like, more rough energy. We need some more Caruso in these weeks when the team feels like
Yeah.
they're relaxing a bit. So yeah.
Yeah, I like it. Okay. Um, Fun team coming up, Orlando Magic, 51 and a half
Over,
wins.
over. I love this team. I love this team this year. Slamming the over. I'm praying for the injury gods. I'm slamming the over and praying for the injury gods, but I think we have
Yeah.
like 355 win teams in the East, like big gap to like Atlanta, and then we get to like the 42 to like 38 win
Mhm.
teams. Like I really think above the 45 win mark, we might genuinely, even if Atlanta doesn't make it there, we might genuinely have like three teams, like Cleveland, New York, Orlando. Orlando was just added Desmond Bain, added some rookies that I like, but more importantly, you got a year older in Tristan Da Silva, and you also got players coming back from injury like Jalen Suggs.
Yeah.
I
Sucks.
think Desmond Bain to me is second best pure 3-point shooter in the NBA, and has also been able to do it while performing off ball, and also has learned to play on ball because Ja has got hurt so much. So if Jalen Suggs has got to miss, 3 more weeks, you can figure it out. But Franz is not going to shoot 25% for three again. Desmond Bain, you got him in. I really like this one.
Yeah, fair enough. I think this is the biggest jump from last year. Actually, no, we're about to talk about the biggest jump from last year. Of course, to BetMGM, but yeah, I like this team a lot. I'm probably just saying over because I like how good they seem rather than necessarily how many wins they might have. But
Yeah,
can't
they're
wait for this
still a
team.
little injury prone, so I'm nervous, but Paulo's a dog, so I kind of feel like they'll figure it
Yeah,
out. And I think the expectation, this is a team will play up to the expectations. I think the defense is also going to maintain, like Desmond Bain is a pretty good
yeah.
defender, and I think he'll be able to maintain the level of defense while providing them something on offense that like even KCP at his peak in his whole career has never been close to what Desmond Bain is right now offensively. So,
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
Um, all right. Moving on to a tough team to predict. 42 and a half wins 76ers.
I got the under because I don't know if Embiid's playing.
Yeah, this is tough. I'm gonna say over just because again, regression to the mean. Embiid will get more shine. McCain will hopefully come back soon healthy, and
Yeah,
then Maxey
November.
actually will play. Um, so I'm just assuming that there's more injury luck. And they again, probably not amazing team, but I could see them in the mid 40s.
But I kind of worry on the other side. I kind of worry about integrating Edgecombe while Grimes is on, this qualifying offer that he accepted, etc. I'm a little worried about that. We'll see. I am a little worried about the vibes going to shit again. You know.
Mhm. Yeah,
So
this
that's
is
kind of
it's definitely a toss-up team.
yeah, because
Um,
16 win difference is a lot, man. Like,
it is a lot.
yeah. So, anyways,
It is a lot. I mean, it's really is Embiid playing.
yeah.
All right. Next up, we have the Phoenix Suns at 31 and a half wins. Man, that's a tough number. What they have last year? They had 36.
I mean, I think
Um,
I'm gonna take the over. I can't believe it. I'm gonna take the over.
yeah, I don't know if they're that much like worse than the Pelicans. So I'm with you.
Yeah. And I think we'll
And
get to
Devin,
the I think we'll get to the Jazz at some point, but I think that's my worst team in the West by a good margin. Um, and I think this team and the Pelicans team are going to be the 13, 14 seed with everyone else fighting for a playoff spot. Or sorry, I forgot about the Kings. Kings need to be
the
15.
Kings
Yeah,
are
yeah.
coming up.
King yeah, slide everyone up one, but this team is going to be fighting, I think, for the 12th and 13th slot for against the Pelicans. Yeah, don't think they're substantially worse than last year. If anything, the team balance might be relatively better. It's just KD's gone, which is tough, but yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm with that. Book's still there. Like Dylan Brooks. Um, yeah. All right. Cool. Moving on, we have Portland Trailblazers at 35 and a half wins. I know you
Comfortable
like this
over.
team.
I'm a comfortable over on this team. This is we've been taking a lot of overs, but I think this is they're going to win 38, 30, 37, 38 games. They're going to be a playoff hunt team, and um I think going from Simons to Drew Holiday is actually going to be really good. I think for the team balance is going to be fantastic. You're going to have more shots to go around. Um, and I think Shayna Sharp, he's always been a breakout candidate, but this is really a season where he's just going to get a ton of shots. Um, I'm really excited. I'm really excited
Uh,
about this team, actually. So
yeah. And then to add to the youth element of it, I think Kamara is awesome. And then Avdia was playing amazing at the end of last year. And Klingon is awesome too. So I think, yeah, send it.
yeah, and Jeremy
Uh,
Grant, like I can't tell if he cares or not, but it sounds like he might get traded. So yeah,
and he also knows how to play basketball.
yeah, that's
So,
true.
all right, cool. Both overs. San Antonio Spurs 44 and a half wins. Unless Wemby gets another blood clot, I don't see why they wouldn't win more.
I totally agree, actually. And this is a team that I feel really good about, not just like a regular season wise. I could see them staying kind of in this Lakers, Warriors, Clippers realm, like just regular season wise, due to resting people and whatnot. I think it's gonna be a really good team. I think like once it comes to playoff time, I think they're gonna be really good. I think Dylan Harper is gonna be better out the gate than we expected. And that's not to mention the fact that they have Stephon Castle already. They have Devin Vassell, and frankly, if they're a 4 seed at the deadline and the good wing is on the block, Harrison Barnes, thank you for your services. Like I don't know. So I think it's a really exciting team. Actually, I think it's pretty awesome. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
Their ceiling
Uh,
isn't that high still, despite having Wemby. But I think they'll be a very good team. Like I actually think they'll be a very good team.
yeah, I mean, we saw the Rockets do it last year, uh, and this might just be a version of that. So, shout
Yeah.
out to all the teams in Texas. All right,
Bill
moving on
Simmons Bill
to
Simmons
some.
just did a whole pod about the three Texas teams.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, he was like glazing them, and I felt bad because I shared all the takes. I had all the same takes, so yeah.
Well, it's all right to agree with Bill Simmons sometimes,
Yeah. One
and
sec
it's
before
okay.
before we move on. Speaking of which,
Oh, let's see. Oh, plug,
classes in
plug,
classes in session.
sir. That's one of the best books that I've ever read. I loved it. That's the 2008 version.
Yeah,
Yeah, right. So it's like cool because like LeBron is still young, so he's like on the pyramid, I think, of his like top 100. I won't spoil too much for you, but I love like the combination of history. I love how he walks through the league. It's a great, great book. Highly recommend the book of
maybe
basketball.
we'll do a book club. Maybe we'll do a book club. I'll take notes while I read it.
Oh,
Honestly, actually, I
I'll
haven't
I'll, I'll
been.
reread it. I'll reread it with you.
Okay, but maybe we should do it. That'd be kind of fun
In
episode.
school. Like there's no like the concept of Steph Curry does not exist. It's like
Oh,
a crazy different
so good.
world, right?
Honest,
Um,
yeah, I think it's gonna age great. If it aged anything like the Book of Basketball 2.0 podcast, like even in the 5 years after the 2.0 podcast, like if the yeah Bills, we could do a whole what maybe we should do a Bill Simmons podcast episode one day because I don't agree with him on
yeah,
everything. Let's be very clear. So don't agree with him on everything. But I actually think basketball wise has been a steward of the basketball history. Very a very good steward of basketball history.
he is a good steward. We'll get
Yeah.
him on. We'll get him on the pod if
That
he
would
ever
be
wants to join.
that would be unbelievable. That would be unbelievable. Sorry, continue.
Oh,
Fan
all right.
fiction.
Well, moving on to
Spin hoops fan fiction.
yeah, exactly. Oh, love that guy. Well, moving on to something that's less unbelievable. The Sacramento Kings, mired in perpetuity of mid 35 and a half wins. I just think the vibes are bad. So yeah, I'm saying under.
Under is going
Um,
down.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
under.
just tough.
Who's the meme is like at this point, like last year, at least they had De'Aaron Fox. Like now they don't. So I'm just like, dude, I don't even think your team's very good. Like,
hmm,
who plays defense? Is Keon Ellis is gonna just be fighting? If you're under 6'10", Keon Ellis is guarding you. Like, like it's ridiculous, bro.
bars.
Like seriously,
Yeah,
like if LeBron strolls to town, do you think DeMar is gonna guard LeBron? DeMar, I hear it, the
yeah,
less I like it.
that's
Oh my
great.
God.
Zach Levine and alone. Yeah, I don't know about this. And I think they get no Domantas Sabonis points for how their team is constructed. So they probably blow this up, honestly, and they probably should do it soon. So
They're
under,
gonna have to
under.
go see a
Cool.
monk to get better. Kings fans are gonna have to see
Yeah.
it. By the
Shout
way,
out.
just Mike Dunleavy, just do Kuminga for Monk. It's gonna solve two fan bases, bro. Just do it.
It
Okay, yeah.
will.
Next team, Bobby.
Next team up, going up north. Shout out Toronto Raptors, 39 and a half wins. Yeah, it's tough to say on this. I'm gonna actually go over
Yeah,
because I think they're really too good to be bad. I also liked their over last year, and I believe I was incorrect. So I just am going to challenge you guys to prove me right.
yeah, I agree. And I think at this point they're also an underratedly deep team. I think they probably have like
Yeah.
8 guys I like pretty well, or like pretty
Mhm.
well, like a good amount. Whether that be let's quickly Ingram, Barrett, Barnes, Pirtle as starting five. We haven't seen it yet, so I'm curious, but it talent wise would hold up in the East, I anticipate. And then off the bench, you have Jamal Shed, Grady Dick, OJ Agbaji, Jonathan Mogbo, who also looks pretty good in flashes over last year. And Colin Murray Boyles, who's going to come in. And if he's your 10th man, I think that's exciting. I think it'll be more than their 10th man coming out the bat. And that's not to mention Jacoby Walter, who's not much, but I just want to reference him. That's a pretty good team. Think they'll win 40 games. It's a low over. This is the thing.
Slow, low.
All my overs are like 1 win above, like 2 wins above. Like,
Some of them. You have some slams, but yeah, some of them you have.
yeah, I have some slabs. Don't get me wrong.
All right. Well, two ones which I'm curious how you slam, and two tough teams here. But first off, we got Utah. We're going to power through.
Yeah,
First team, we have Utah, and they're at 18 and a half.
that's a low number, but I'm probably gonna take the
That
under.
is a little.
Think the draft is too good. Think Danny Ainge isn't dumb. I mean, he just drafted Ace Bailey. I don't think he thinks he's gonna be magically good. And I think talent wise, this team's still lagging behind. Actually, a few years ago when Will Hardy was overperforming with the team, I mean, they still had Sexton, they still had Collins, kind of improve it mode a little bit, coming off big trades from their teams. Now we got
Right.
Bryson Simba. You know,
Yeah. It's dark times out here. I don't really know what to do with this team. I don't know.
Mathematically, I should probably take the over. Like, I think they'll probably be a 19 to 21 win team, but symbolically, I'm going to take the
Yeah,
under here.
I like it. They had 17 wins last year. Are they any better? I don't know. I'll say the over for the symbolism. All right, last and definitely least, your second favorite team,
What's the win over
the
under?
Washington Wizards. What do you think the over under is?
17 and a half or 17? Lower? Higher,
No, up,
21?
up. 21 and a half. Well, way to get that on your second guess. Yeah, 21 and a half. So that makes me think that you think it's
Slam the
under.
under. Slam the under. I'm a Wizards fan,
Slam the
but
under.
they need to be a bottom six team to keep their first overall pick, to keep their first round pick from the Knicks. So this is a team that's going to be intentionally trying to finish in the bottom two or three slots in the whole NBA, which traditionally ends up being around the 17-18 mark. Because if you're in one of those three slots, you'll be safe from falling out of the top six. Um, yeah, this is also a team that's added a lot of older talent, while still not shoring up. It's added older talent while still not shoring up an overall talent problem. Valanciunas goes out the door in the middle of last season. They never replaced him. Instead, you bring in Chris Middleton, who's going to play 30 games. And then, CJ McCollum, who might play a lot, but is he substantially better than Jordan Poole? I don't know. Um, Frankly, the more I also watch the Wizards, the more I'm a little bit worried about Bub Carrington, who's their point guard, and him having a good season would be a pretty big catalyst to them not winning just 20 games. They could just maybe win 25 or something. I'm a little worried about his
Mhm.
development at this stage. Not to overreact for the preseason, but he's not as far as long as I would have liked. So I'm going to take the under pretty aggressively, to be honest. I think this could be a 16 win team.
Sheesh. Oh my Lord.
And it's
I'm
because
gonna go.
yeah, they're going to play Trey Johnson 40 minutes and they're going to play AJ Johnson 35 minutes. And those guys are 19. Like that's the point of the Wizards right now. Then I like that they're doing this, by the way. It's not a slander. Like this is good. They should tank. But yeah. So
I honestly hadn't factored in the tanking factor point that you brought up. I think over just because of how good the league is in general. And I'm curious to see if all those guys take a step. And based on how we predicted other over unders, they might not be like they might not need 16 or 17 to like have that
yeah,
top
that's like
six.
the bell
So
bell curve thing that we were talking about from
yeah,
earlier too. Yeah.
right.
But yeah.
So
Anyways, I guess that wraps up
wow,
our
good
over
stuff.
unders. We kind of knocked those
All
out in
right,
all in an hour, like we said.
that's pretty impressive. We were like off pace for a bit, and then we kind of started cooking. I think we were really excited about some of these teams, but we got plenty of time to talk about them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool,
And
great.
NBA season starts next Tuesday. We'll probably have another
Yep.
pod out for you guys before then, I
Sure.
believe. But if not, I mean, we're gonna start. We're gonna be going pretty fast this season. I think we're pretty locked. So tune in,
Yeah, we're
subscribe.
locked, we're loaded.
Yeah,
We're locked, we're loaded. We're spitting hoops, baby. And we see y'all soon.
yes, sir. Peace out.